What I want Larry to do, you can set that down. I want you to take just a mouthful of that hay and put it on top of that blue barrel that he's scared of. And then I want you to take a mouthful of that hay and put it on that blue tarp. And we're just going to see what happens. Because you see, there is an advantage of getting over your fear. Now, every one of us have some fear in some area. And I'm telling you, there is an advantage of getting over it. Now, I'm sure most of you have no idea that you need to get over the fear of snakes. Unless you find one in your house. And then it would be good if you were over the fear of snakes. You won't have to call Bobby. And I won't have to shoot a hole in the floor. He gave you more than half, didn't he? I told him to bring feed me. He said he likes hay more than he does feed. Let me see that back. So we're just going to, this is just an experiment. See how it works. I know he's got to run out of that hay before he's going to go look for that hay. Because that's just the way they are. He's going to nibble every little bit he can off of that before he's going to go down there to the other end. So sometimes we might just help him go to the other end. He says, "Daddy, do you have more? I see it right outside there." You see, isn't that the way we do God in fear? We want to go around it. Week after week after week, when we train with horses, we get to a point that they're somewhat obedient, but there's a lot of avoidance. You see it with dogs. You see it with horses. They start avoiding you. Well, there's another step beyond that into training, into submission. You know, we've been talking about this ingredients to greater relationships, and the first one was time. And it's evident that they've spent some time together. Leave you, Daddy. And I'm just going to see if oh, look here. There's a blue tarp, but there's hay. I've never done this before. Just an experiment. But when we start spending quality time and we have communication, it'll build trust. And the 7 ingredients of greater relationships, that's the order I've put them in. Time, communication, and trust. It's obvious that he's had some time with this horse. There's been some communication. I've heard this horse is super at everything but blue tarps. Now, I got to tell you that in my horse training, I would train all of this while I was on his back. But I wouldn't recommend my wife doing that, because he can leap small buildings in a single bound sideways. So that's not always the best object. But let me tell you just a few facts on training horses of things they're scared of, and it don't matter if it's a blue tarp or a stream. What happens in a horse's mind, they get closer and closer and closer. I'm going to use this fence as an illustration, until in their mind they can go no further. That's as close to the snake as they can get. That's as close to the blue barrel as they can get. That's as close to the water as they can get. In their mind, that is as close as they can get. And what's the first thing we do? And where can he go? To the right, the left, up, and back. Because in his mind, he cannot go forward. Because you got to understand, we talked last week about communication. And we've got to think a little bit about what is the horse saying. We're so busy about what we're trying to tell the horse that we kind of forgot about what is the horse saying. And he's saying, I want to please you, but there's a wall here and I can't go any further in my mind. And every one of us have that wall. that Satan has put there in our life, and we think we can't do something. I want to help you look at here. Look here. Look close. See, you make it as easy as possible. Oh, I'd like to have that. Now, I'm not sure many of you would like to handle a snake, but all of us have got a fear. And if we didn't have that fear, we would gain more trust. Today, what